Right, now I'm very excited to invite to the stage another OG leader from our ecosystem, Mr. Abdul, CEO and founder of Gora Network. Abdul, come on over.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the introduction. So I'm going to be talking about Gora, a decentralized blockchain oracle. And the focus of this talk is how we are focused on decentralization and our path to getting there. So why settle for centralization? A lot of KOLs, I won't say who, but they think centralization is accepted when it comes to oracles because there's so much value being protected. But the problem with centralized protocols is the value is centralized. That value is only captured by the team or the investors, but not the stakeholders of the community. Also, centralized protocols mean that you expect the team will be around for a long time to maintain the protocol. And when you're building a decentralized protocol, depending on a different team to be around, it's a big thing to ask, a lot of trust. And so our mission was to build a truly decentralized oracle, and I think that's going to be how we grow and how we reach success. And so there's three main pillars that we wanted to achieve through decentralization. So the first one is consensus. Gora is a decentralized consensus network, proof of stake, so anybody should be able to participate. Then is decentralized governance. The community should be able to say what happens in various aspects. And then finally, open source. So developers who want to add features or want to make improvements can do so without having the project team be in charge. And so I'm going to start talking about the Gora node. So a Gora node takes transactions from the blockchain. So if you make a request for real-world data, whether it's price data, weather data, sports data, and you need that data on chain, a node operator goes and gets that data for you. And so we made our nodes fully accessible. Anybody can run a node. It's completely unpermissioned, and it takes 20, 30 minutes if you're technical and you know what you're doing. And because we made it open, we had over 3 million Gora that is currently staked. That's more Gora that's available on DEXs and SEXs. So right now, even if you wanted to attack the system, which means you need 51% of Gora tokens, you can't even get that many tokens, and that's as a result of making it so easy and open to decentralize. So running a node is fairly technical. However, if you have even one Gora, you don't have to run a node. You can delegate your Gora token to other node operators who will vote on your behalf and just take a commission. And so what this delegating does is it allowed communities to form. So one person has a lot of followers, they'll run a Gora node and then get delegations to their node. And that's resulted in a lot of strong sub-communities. So you have industry players, so like node operators for Chainlink, like Infstones or 01 Node, who are validators for Gora. You have language-specific groups. So there's a Japanese group that all work together. They have their own community. There's a Somali group. They open their own node, and they have their own Telegram where they get people to delegate to them, and they earn rewards. And you have NFT projects like Akira or Bambino who create a node and have their communities come. And this has resulted in really robust communities. And so, I have a surprise for everybody who's here. Find me after. I'm giving away 20 Gora tokens to the first 50 people who come up to me so that you can try out staking and check out TinyMan. So, but that's just the beginning. Now that our technical infrastructure is decentralized, we need to move on to governance. How do you control where the Gora tokens are allocated? How do you make decisions about what areas we focus on? And that's going to be done through the Gora DAO. The Gora DAO, it puts control of how Gora is allocated and how decision is made into the hands of the stakeholders, the customers, the data providers, and the node operators. And then finally is making everything open source. So right now, our GitHub is invite. So if you want to see how Gora works, just ask me for an invite and we allow you to come into our GitHub, no questions asked, but it's still closed. So that requires a little bit more audits, and hopefully by the end of the year we can completely open source it, and that's going to be the final stage of our decentralization. And so decentralization is not easy, but it shows how a small protocol like Gora, with not that many followers in the beginning, went completely decentralized and how that resulted in a huge community, more than we could have ever expected, because people feel ownership and they feel like they can take control and make, get all the value from the protocol themselves rather than it going to the team and so on. And so really that's sort of the presentation. If you have questions or you want to claim your Gora, just find me. I'm around, have your wallet ready, and yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.